Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers visit the second DaAi village in Indonesia to care for a couple in need. We get to know 6 elderly recycling volunteers in central Taiwan who are helping to protect the environment. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shioda. Thank you for joining us. In 2005, Tzu Chi built a second grade-level village in Indonesia for people living along the Angkor River. To this day, Tzu Chi's love and care for these people continues. Recently, in the village, one family's breadwinner fell ill, and not knowing where else to turn to, Tzu Chi stepped in to help.
The man in the picture is now bedridden because of a second stroke. His wife is exhausted from looking after him and raising the family.
Kata saya begini, saya kan hanya sama bapak, Pak. Bapak harapannya pengen sembuh, sehat.
I asked my husband if he could hang in there because the doctor said there was no medicine for his illness. He replied that he would rather just leave the world.
Gitu. Jadi kan saya tanya begitu, katanya jawaban dia apa? Cuma pengen katanya harapannya mati aja gitu.
It's a big challenge to look after the patient. The husband was the one raising the family, but now his wife has to do it all of a sudden. So we are giving them the necessary care and help.
Tzu Chi volunteers are helping this family in the second grade love village.
I won't give up looking after him no matter what, but I am in despair about his inability to recover.
Saya benar-benar berharap mudah-mudahan ibunya mempunyai kekuatan.
I hope she can face it bravely. I know she will need support and the courage to overcome this problem.
Untuk berjuang supaya bisa lewatin masa susah ini.
Tzu Chi volunteers will support this family financially and spiritually so they may one day rise up again.
One of the major features for the year-end ceremony is receiving Master Zhenyan's red envelope of blessing and wisdom. The money contained within is the Master's royalties from the sales of our books, but the assembly of the envelopes is the work of many volunteers. Staff at the Tzu Chi Culture Center recently had an opportunity to help prepare these gifts.
There's something more important to do during the lunch break.
I had received the red envelope before, but this is my first time making it. I then realized it is not easy to make one.
Everyone does it attentively because they want to do it right. There are many stations for making them. They look happy doing it.
One of the steps in making the red envelopes is putting in the commemoration coin, and it is not easy.
As we wear white gloves, we know that they will be used in a ceremony, so we must be respectful of them and we must keep them clean as they'll be given to Tzu Chi people around the world.
The work demands good eyesight and unwavering hands. After lunch, the executives lead their staff to make the red envelopes.
While I was working on it, my brain told me to do it correctly. It is like we are carrying out Tzu Chi's mission correctly. We must also report the truth of every event to our audience.
When people receive the red envelopes, it means the beginning of another 50 years for Tzu Chi, and also the coming of the Master's 80th birthday. So this is quite meaningful. Many people have come today to do it.
Tzu Chi has already passed the 50-year threshold and will continue to apply the Buddha's teaching to help the needy around the world.
Master Zhenyan was at the Changhua Jingsi Hall to certify new Tzu Chi members and commissioners. Among the volunteers being certified this year is 35-year-old Lin Yiling. Both her mother and grandmother have been involved with social welfare for as long as she can remember, which inspired her to follow in their footsteps.
Tzu Chi New York chapter holds a charity concert, and Lin Yiling flies there to be the MC.
We are very grateful to have all of you joining us tonight.
A strong earthquake occurred in Nepal, so Lin Yiling also goes there to help.
Nice to meet you. I hope to see you in Taiwan.
She spent 100 days in Nepal doing relief. The images of other Tzu Chi volunteers inspired her to undertake training, and for the following 2 years, she didn't stop doing good deeds.
Some power told me to do this, so I must hasten my steps and grab every opportunity.
She was the first group of students from the Taiwan children's class. Now 20 years later, she is being certified. Her mother and grandmother are also there to congratulate her.
Grandma and mom showed up together, so I feel this is a very important moment in my life. It means I'll continue the mission.
I hope she will learn from her grandma and mom about the Buddha's heart and Master's will, so she can become the Master's good disciple.
这样的
As her grandmother, I'm happy to see her striving hard for Tzu Chi.
阿嬷很高兴。
New Tzu Chi volunteers have joined Tzu Chi to shoulder responsibilities. Master Zhen Yan expects them to work diligently with love.
我们应该呢，要多提升起来自己的热情，也要菩萨呢人多福大啊，才能消弭灾难呐。
Next, we stay in Changhua and meet Tzu Chi volunteer Hong Shuzhen, who has been an exemplar of filial piety. She is also an inspiration to her Tzu Chi Dharma family, people in her community, as well as her own family.
It is a windy, rainy day that volunteer Hong Shuzhen makes a visit to see Mrs. Dai, who is blind. Arriving early in the morning, she joins the family for breakfast. Despite being care recipients themselves, the family still offers money for donation. Hong Shuzhen knows she too has a heavy responsibility to bear.
The master says we should give from our hearts, right? If everyone had this love in their hearts, our society would be harmonious.
Hong Shuzhen may be a teacher, but she is still very unfamiliar with computers. In preparation for her Sutra study group presentation, she spent a lot of time preparing materials for her talk about her own experiences and spreading the Dharma.
I finally realized that this life is truly a blessing when it is illuminated in the light of the Buddha. It was Master Zhen Yan's explanation of the Dharma that helped me realize I too can embrace the wisdom, and this brought me out of darkness.
Putting her effort into doing Tzu Chi, Hong also puts the same effort into her family. Her filial nature towards her mother-in-law is something her sister-in-law also praises.
In many ways, she is more like a daughter to my mother. She is very kind and gentle speaking with my mother. I stood listening and I could feel how happy she made my mother.
After Hong Shuzhen's father passed away, she made use of her time by helping her mother, who was quite depressed. The mother and daughter started a new chapter in their life by studying painting together.
The master says the chance to be filial is one of the greatest blessings. I am truly blessed to still have my mother and my mother-in-law. These two bodhisattvas lets me be filial and dutiful.
Every day is busy for Miss Hong, performing good deeds and practicing filial piety. With the Dharma in her heart, she stays steady, walking the bodhisattva path.
Tzu Chi's Lukang recycling station has 6 elderly people who are affectionately referred to as the flowers of the center. The eldest is 92 years old, while the youngest is 78. Together, they joyfully undertake recycling work and lift the spirits of everyone who visits this recycling center.
This elderly woman pushes a wheelchair to help her transport the recycling that she collects every day. Age 92 years old, Lu Shoufeng believes that recycling can alleviate suffering.
I got diabetes in my 60s, and every morning I have to take an injection of insulin. From the age of 60 till now, I have been taking these shots.
Riding a motorized vehicle to do recycling is 78-year-old Zhang Ming, who is frail and mostly immobile. This person overcomes many challenges to do this recycling work.
If I can do it, I feel blessed. If I can't, I feel it's a loss. I just think I should quickly go out and do it.
82-year-old Wu Baozu looks at recycling as if it were a sport.
If we go out, it's a better day. It's simple as that.
And 79-year-old Si Chenfeng and 83-year-old Si Mei and Yang Jingying all regard this recycling station like their home. Every day they report to the center and do recycling. Despite all of the wrinkles, they all love this work and smile, as these 6 elderly people are truly the most beautiful thing at this Lukang recycling station.
A big smile leads you to forget about your age, as these 6 old bodhisattvas are the true treasure of this recycling station.
Today, in our series on Doctors with Compassionate Hearts, we take you to Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital, where we learn about Dr. Honda Xu, who specializes in plastic surgery. His grandfather was a doctor, and from a young age, he would accompany him to see patients. As some of the patients were from poor families, his grandfather wouldn't charge them, influencing Honda to work for the benefits of his patients as well.
In the operating room, this plastic surgeon, Shu Hongda, prepares to undertake a free flap surgery. As for becoming a surgeon, Hongda says the more people tried to warn him to avoid this profession, the more he was attracted to it.
I remember when I graduated from college, I told my father and mother that I would not go into surgery because I know it is very tiring. Later, I learned that this department used to work into the middle of the night.
Always laughing, Shu is popular with patients, with everyone calling him Honda. He says he became interested in being a physician during his childhood.
When I was young, I lived with my grandfather in Tainan County's Jari district, where he was a doctor. At that time, there were people who had no money, and when they came for a visit, my grandfather would not charge them. This inspired me, and when I grew up, I too wanted to become a doctor.
As a doctor, he is mostly optimistic, though there were times that were quite trying.
My third year of residency, which is typically the most difficult time, my eldest child was just learning to figure things out. And she finally discovered that the phone isn't named Baba. She thought it used to be called this because whenever my wife held up the phone, she would tell my child to say Baba, Baba.
After thinking of his past challenges, he wipes away a tear. But struggling through his difficult time, he was able to finally achieve his dream of becoming a doctor like his grandfather. He joined TIMA to use his weekends and holidays to travel to remote regions in order to use his expertise to treat people who can't travel to hospitals, giving them equal access to medical care. Over the course of 20 years, he says that he has never regretted the decision.
There is not a day that I wake up and say that I do not want to do this work. There are some times when I'm tired and ask myself if I really need to go to work. But the surgery department is different because they are the people that we operate on, and you need to look after them, as others won't do such a good job caring for them.
After operating on a patient, surgeons have the responsibility of being on call. And if there are any sudden developments, they will need to immediately respond and potentially rush off to the emergency room.
Attendant 有断吗 ？Nerve circulation 有没有问题？好，等我一下。好，谢谢啊，那就祝大家医师节快乐。好，去急诊了，拜拜。
Moving our focus to the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, which has been providing health screening for students in Hualien for years. However, only 60% of students found with health issues actually seek further consultations. Therefore, doctors urge parents to help their children seek medical consultations when necessary. Meanwhile, TIMA's Northern Taiwan chapter recently offered a free clinic at Youmu Elementary School in New Taipei City.
Located in Sanxia's mountain areas, Youmu Elementary School offers stunning scenery. However, for the seniors in the area, enduring pain and illness is a part of life.
The seniors who live in the mountain areas sometimes can't even go buy rice by themselves. They call the police station and ask the officers for help.
It is really not easy for the seniors here to go out. The free clinic saves them the trip and hassle to go see doctors.
On the day a sports meet is held at the elementary school, the school has invited TIMA members and volunteers to host a free clinic here.
这边呢就是青山绿水。
This place offers amazing natural scenery. The environment is very good and the air is quite fresh. I was given this opportunity to do what I can to help these children.
可以贡献我自己的力量，然后帮助这些小孩子。
I think very few organizations could do this. It is very meaningful. Look at the kids, watching the volunteers. They've also learned much.
The school is helping people in the community and promoting health knowledge. I think we should come here to discover places where we can make house calls.
Working side by side, Tima and Tzu Chi volunteers have again safeguarded the health of children and seniors in remote areas. Common health screening for students includes checks on spine and posture, vision and dental conditions. Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital has been providing health screenings for high school and elementary school students in Hualien for 13 years, and health problems are detected every year.
Most common issues for students are dental problems, followed by weight and vision problems.
Nevertheless, only 60% of students detected with health concerns in Hualien sought further consultation at hospitals. Therefore, the doctors are worried about the health conditions of the remaining students.
With further consultation, we found fat children have fatty liver, hepatitis, or metabolic illness. A few of them were even diagnosed with type 2 diabetes.
In the future, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital will also work with the County Health Bureau to provide mobile medical services for children in remote areas.
About 90% of dental resources are in the northern district of Hualien, especially Jian Township. Therefore, children in other areas actually face difficulties in seeking further consultations.
To ensure students' health, parents are urged to help them seek further consultation at hospitals if screenings have detected health problems.
In Kota Badun, Indonesia, employees from 2 companies donated over 400 filled bamboo coin banks to Tzu Chi. Their kind gesture shows how much love there is in the world.
The sound of coins dropping down is echoing here. They are the employees of 2 companies in Kota Badun, Indonesia. In support of Tzu Chi's bamboo bank era, on this day they donated 413 coin banks.
I'm so delighted to see so many employees' participation. They have so much love and are willing to help the needy. Some people even ask me why it took so long before they make the donation.
Listening to Tzu Chi volunteers' introduction, these employees are eager to donate their love to help the needy.
I was really happy when I was emptying coins from my coin bank. I didn't know this little money I saved every day could be used to help people. I want to pass this love forward. I hope my family and friends can also take part in this.
413 coin banks equal to 413 loving hearts. These employees' practice of doing one good deed every day can also help those in need.
Tzu Chi volunteers collaborated with a community dance troupe to visit the Hualien Xiang'an nursing home. The visit helped these elderly get some exercise and experience some joy.
A Tzu Chi volunteer dressed up in this colorful costume with outlandish makeup and spoke Taiwanese to entertain these elderly people at Hualien Xiang'an nursing home.
We use humorous ways to interpret this role. It may bring back memories of their past, as our goal is to try to make the elderly happy. They will be able to sleep better at nights without any worries. This is why I came.
The visit to the nursing home includes a group of energetic mothers who put on a dance to encourage the elderly to move around.
I think our community dance group should take this opportunity to share with others. I am also very happy to see the dedicated work of Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. Their spirit is really quite moving.
Tzu Chi volunteers also arranged a special exercise for all the elderly to undertake. Through this activity, the community and the seniors were drawn closer together.
To provide disadvantaged seniors with daily necessities, Huashan Social Welfare Foundation has set up nearly 400 community stations throughout Taiwan. Recently, the foundation invited a senior who has to care for her disabled family members to pick much-needed household items at a community station.
Despite his poor Mandarin and Taiwanese, the foreign missionary manages to introduce these second-hand household items to the seniors.
It's a great opportunity to come serve and support these disadvantaged seniors.
After picking clothes for her husband and a rice cooker, Grandma Jian smiles with joy.
Huashan Foundation has taken good care of us. My family of 4 cannot work, and my 2 sons have disability cards.
Many of their household items are old and they became unusable after the house was flooded.
Besides Grandma Jian, Grandpa Shi is also grateful for the assistance.
I feel very fortunate and happy to be with everyone.
Huashan Social Welfare Foundation has set up 372 community stations that offer daily necessities to seniors who are 65 or older and are either disabled or underprivileged. Anyone with household items that are pretty new are encouraged to donate them for seniors in need.
33-year-old You Chen was a young man in the prime of his life who suddenly lost consciousness and was pronounced brain dead a week later. Despite their grief, the family chose to make their son an organ donor, and their selflessness would go on to help 50 patients in need.
This is a photo of 33-year-old You Chen, a young man with a kind heart in the prime of his life. Recently, while inspecting a factory, he suddenly fainted without warning and was later transferred to Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital.
His life signs were very unstable, and he needed immediate attention. His brain had already suffered severe damage.
Before his collapse, there were no signs of any problems, but less than a week after he lost consciousness, he was declared brain dead.
At the time, he was a level 3 coma scale. I wanted to continue trying to save him. I never thought that we would lose him.
In the mother's grief about losing her son, the father's suggestion that they offer their son for organ donation was a difficult and heart-wrenching decision for the mother to make.
On the one hand, I was happy to have helped those in need, but for this to happen to my own son, it's very hard to accept.
Every end is a new beginning. Even though it seems like he has gone on the surface, he actually lives on within the bodies of many other people.
After the agreement of the parents, You Cheng's corneas, kidney, liver, skin, and arm and leg bones were all donated to patients in need. In the end, 50 people received their needed transplant thanks to You Cheng. You Cheng's parents are both Tzu Chi volunteers. The father has been especially active, giving blood over 600 times. By accepting impermanence with compassion, this family was able to give life to others, even in the face of losing their own son.
We head to Hong Kong at the end of our program and visit the 3rd annual Hong Kong Veg Fest, where Tzu Chi volunteers share with local residents ways to make delicious vegetarian cuisine. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.